We also have Ralph over here.
Yeah.
And we have Charlie. And we have Mav. And we have Lou. And we have Ben. These are also parts of our team. And we actually are now at 48 members. So not all of them are here, obviously. Can everybody hear me now? I'm trying to put it right up to my mouth. Okay. So thank you both for having us. Jeff, thank you. Denise, thank you. This is our 4th year here, and we always love coming here. First of all, we all live in this area. So most of you would be our neighbors and friends and relatives, if you're brothers and sisters to some of us. Quick question, honest question. Raise your hand if you've been bitten by a venomous snake.
Wow, look at all of them.
Wait, seriously? Okay. Raise your hand if you've been attacked by a venomous snake.
Look at that crowd.
Wait, seriously? Okay. What about chased by a venomous snake? 2 little kids. I don't know if I believe you. Okay. So wait, there is one guy back there. Seriously? Water moccasin. Okay. We don't have water moccasins here.
My
point is, they do not chase. They do not attack us. They are not evil, and they are not out to get us. That is why none of us, including my 48 people, have ever been attacked, chased, or bitten by a rattlesnake. Sorry, it's starting to go out on us. So what we're going to do today, we have lots of live snakes. And I know the kids always want to get right to the snakes, but we have to do the boring stuff first and talk about snakes in general, how to avoid them, how to identify them. So we're going to do that, but we're also going to pull snakes out as we talk about these snakes. Now, these snakes are not pets. These are wild snakes that my team has captured in someone's yard, property, or business in the last few days. We bring them because we want you guys to see what you would possibly see in your own backyards. Everybody here from San Diego? Anybody not from San Diego? You guys are raising your hands for everything. So anybody not from this area?
I saw some folks back
there. Okay, where are you guys from? Okay, so still California?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically the state of California has 72 known species of snakes. 72, pretty big number, right? Guess how many of those are dangerous to humans if you're bitten? Hold up hands. How many?
7.
1. Wow, my neighbor. How did you know that? Because you're my neighbor. He is right, and it's good to see you, Mark. One venomous snake is dangerous to humans. There's 7 different types of them, but the rattlesnake, that is it. So if you see a snake and it doesn't have the identifying features that we're going to talk about, it's not dangerous. Leave it alone. What are you supposed to do with it?
Leave it alone.
Okay, so let's talk about identifying snakes real quick. Okay, if you've been to this talk before, please keep your mouth quiet.
Yeah.
Please. If you've not heard this before, but you think you know the answer, please keep your mouth quiet. We're going to ask for show of hands after this. I'm going to hold up a sign and I'm going to walk around. I want everybody to take a quick look. These are photographs that I have taken. These are our local snakes. Everybody take a look. The question is, and please don't say it out loud. There's always somebody I have to hit with the microphone. How many of these snakes are poisonous? Say it to yourself. Do not say it out loud. How many of these snakes are poisonous on here? Again, these are snakes you will see on this lagoon, in your backyard, at the In-N-Out drive-thru, at your apartment complex, at the mall. They show up everywhere. We get calls for places. The only place I haven't been is in an elevator into a high-rise. That's it. How many of these are poisonous? Please don't say it out loud. We're going to have a question and answer here in a second. If you want a second look, let me know. How many of these snakes are poisonous snakes? Yep.
It's important for us to be able to identify the local snakes that are around here, whether you like snakes or you dislike
poisonous
them,
snakes,
or you got a neutral view of them.
Everybody got a view?
It's important to have an opinion on them that's accurate, because otherwise, if I say I don't like broccoli and I've never eaten broccoli before, that's not a very informed opinion. Here. So if you don't, if you say, yeah, I like snakes except the ones that can hurt me. Well, if you don't know which ones can or can't hurt you, you can't have a good opinion.
Cheaters.
So that's why we're asking which ones are poisonous or not. They ready?
Raise your hand if you think all 6 snakes on here are poisonous. Raise your hand. Really? Okay, we got 1. Good. Thank you. There's always somebody that answers 6. How about 5?
There we go.
4? 4 people? Say 5. How about 4 of these snakes are poisonous? About 3 of them? All right, ready? Let's do the wave. How about 2 of them? Oh, how about 1? 1, okay. How about 0? Anybody? Why would none of these be poisonous snakes?
Talking about venom.
Ah, and there it is. Did you hear the answer? Snakes are not poisonous. You could eat all of these on the grill, and they are very tasty. Please don't do it. Poison is ingested, swallowed, or eaten. You could put these on a burger bun and eat all of them. They are venomous. We like to differentiate because it drives all of the hurt people in the world when someone says it's a poisonous snake.
We also like to do it because, oh yeah, here, can I borrow that mic because it's a bit louder? Can everyone hear me a little bit better with this one versus the other one? My voice just doesn't carry very well, I guess. So poisonous versus venomous is really important because what is venom for versus what is poison for? Raise your hand if you've gone to the San Diego Zoo. Okay, who has seen the poison dart frogs? Raise your hand. The poison dart frogs. Okay, are they venomous dart frogs? So why are they poison dart frogs? What makes them poisonous?
Say it out loud, yell, don't be shy.
So why are they poisonous though? Like what do they have it for? Defense. So then what's the venom for on a rattlesnake? Digestion.
Very good.
Okay, so now, is this animal capable of eating this animal? Can this fit into here?
Tight squeeze.
This animal knows that. So because we are not prey to them, they don't want to waste venom on us. That's why we make this poison versus venom distinction. Venom is not a defense mechanism. It is for hunting mice, and that's it. So you don't have to worry about them chasing after you. Water moccasins. You don't have to worry about any of that happening. Okay?
I think he's gone. Good. We can make fun of him now. No, he was not chased by a water moccasin. So on social media, I always hear people say, I was chased by a water moccasin. And I asked somebody, well, how far? And he's like, at least a mile. And I said, you must be so slow. You must be really slow.
Moonshine
Snakes do not chase. Even water moccasins do not chase. If you see him saying that, it's not true. Okay, so really quick. How do you know the difference between a venomous snake and a non-venomous snake? I need you to come up here and help me, please. And I need Mikey to come up here and help me. Okay, will you hold this and face out?
Yeah.
And will you hold, oh, it's under my arm, gross. Turn around and face this way.
And hold them up nice and tall so
hold
everyone can see.
So everybody can see them. All right, don't be shy. We don't want to be up here talking. You guys don't
hold them up like you're RFK
What do you
Jr.
see that differentiates this between...
There you go.
And drop it down. What do you see? Scream it out loud. What's the difference between these snakes? Head shape. What else? Rattle.
Nice.
Head. What is it?
Pattern.
Pattern.
Yeah.
Pattern. Good.
Absolutely.
Rattlesnakes always have significantly bigger heads than the connecting point of their neck. Even newborn babies' heads is twice the size. Why? Man, this guy's good.
You need to stop.
Come up here.
Come up
here. Get
here.
an extra mic. He'll be here all week. That is correct. Venom glands. So rattlesnakes have big heads. These are obviously severed heads, and those venom glands dried up so their heads look tiny. If these were still on a live body, which we'd much prefer, their heads would be twice the size of the connection point. Everybody here, raise your hand. Keep
see how it's a
God. I'm so sorry. I forgot it was in my hand. I'll do this hand. Wait. Okay, wait. You got to turn and face that way. There. Okay. Everybody here has been to the doctor and had a shot in their arm before, yes? Okay. When a snake bites, it is basically the same concept. The doctor comes in. He's got his cute little white coat on.
There you go.
He gives you the shot. He wipes it off with a cotton ball, and he puts a cute little Band-Aid on, right? And about 2 days later, you pull that Band-Aid off, you do not see a hole at all, correct? Exact same concept as a rattlesnake's fangs. They are like hypodermic needles. Alan is walking around with one head. Except when this snake delivers that bite, there is no cute white jacket. There is no cotton ball. And there is not a cute little Band-Aid, unfortunately.
What's puckered up right in
but
here. That
that's how quickly they can deliver a bite, faster than the human eye can blink. So we want to avoid that. How do we avoid being bitten by a snake? Yell it out. How? What? Don't go near it. What else? Back away. What else?
So you can see how it's
Space.
Not that triangle shape.
So here's an
anymore.
interesting fact.
It's just dried up.
What is the main reason humans are bitten by venomous snakes? Yes, sir.
So it's not that heart shape or that shovel shape. It's flat because the venom glands,
That's
which are
perfect.
right here, have dried up.
That's exactly right.
It's delivered
The main
right
reason
through
people
there.
are bitten by venomous snakes in this country is fear.
Oh yeah.
Think about that for a second. I'm afraid of that animal, so I'm going to go get a stick, rock, shovel, and I'm going to kill it. That snake misses that shot by your rock, stick, shovel, and bites you. That's called karma. Okay?
It's called self-defense.
Yeah, self-defense and karma. If you're bitten by a venomous snake in this country, it's technically going to be your fault 80% of the time. The other 20% are true accidents.
Yep.
You're walking and you didn't see it, it got you on the ankle. There's a lady that works here, Jeff, that was clearing out debris and she reached in, didn't see it. She thought it was a thorn, looked at her finger, saw blood, but we reached back in a second time, felt the thorn again, realized rattlesnake. Totally an accident.
Yeah.
There are how many people in this country now? 400 million?
330.
330 million people. On average, there are 8,000 venomous snake bites a year in the United States. 8,000. 80% of those are not accidents. Who's good with math? What's 80% of 8,000? About 1,600. 1,600 people in this country are bitten accidentally by venomous snakes. The rest of those people messed with the snake as this man. You just want to face me. Ow! Okay, we talked about head. Now let's talk about the other identifier. What else do you see on the snake that you don't see on the one on your left? Rattle.
Yeah.
So every other snake that we would see in California is going to have a nice pointy tail. Okay, it's going to come to a point. Rattlesnakes, on the other hand, have a rattle. But what about baby rattlesnakes? Let's talk about them for a second. What do we know about babies? Yell it out.
They're more dangerous than the adults because they can't control their venom.
They'll chase you too, but they're really slow. No, what do we know about baby snakes? Let's talk about it. Since she said it. Anybody hear that myth?
Oh, I just took all the talking points from the whole audience in that one moment, didn't I?
Nobody has heard the babies are more dangerous because they cannot control their venom and therefore they give it all to you.
No, that's all they know. Yeah, that's all they've been told. And the simple truth is, it is a lie. It's a lie to justify killing a baby animal for no reason. The babies are way less dangerous than the adults. In San Diego, we get 4 species of rattlesnakes. The biggest one, the red diamond rattlesnake, which is this guy right here that I'm next to on this picture.
Gopher snakes?
They can be 5.5 feet long. I've caught 2 of them that long. Their heads are as big as my fists. The babies, their heads are the size of maybe my pinky. A couple drops of venom here, way more drops of venom here. Bruce and I like to ask people, would you rather be punched by a 2-year-old Mike Tyson or a 22-year-old Mike Tyson?
Some of you younger people don't know who Mikey was. A guy you don't want to step in the ring with.
Also, when a snake is as big as my pinky, what are they hunting? What are they eating at that point in their life? Yeah, lizards, crickets, right? Slugs. Meanwhile, when they're this big, what are they hunting?
Small people like this?
Okay, so they're going from invertebrates and reptiles to mammals, and their venom reflects that.
So hold on one
The
second.
chemical cocktail that makes up baby rattlesnake venom is better at killing reptiles than mammals. It doesn't react with your blood nearly as strongly as if you were a lizard. So if you're a lizard person, you got a problem. But for the adults, when they're hunting rodents, it has changed its composition to be better at harming mammals. But even still, you're pretty different. You're pretty different. You're pretty different. You're all pretty different from a rabbit, from a squirrel. So even still, it doesn't affect you nearly as much. Raise your hand if you're allergic to bees. Raise your hand if you're allergic to cats. Raise your hand if you're allergic to porcupines. Okay, so I used to work with porcupines, and I can tell you that 60% of you are allergic to porcupines. The only reason I know that is because I was a wildlife biologist that worked with them, and that was part of our research. But we knew that because we would pick them up and we'd move them, and you would get a breakout on your arms. Rattlesnake bites, you can also be allergic to them. But from the research that we have, more than 85% of you are not allergic to the rattlesnake venom, even from the adults that have that mammal venom. Does that make sense to everybody? So the babies are not more dangerous, not by a long shot. I would rather be bitten by a baby every day of the week. Yeah.
Okay, so we really pounded on the babies. I feel bad for them. Okay, so in my hand and Mav to my right, we have two snakes. They are the same species that are the most common big snake you're going to see in San Diego. Does anybody know what these are? What? Gopher. Gopher. So we don't get rat snakes here. We do get gopher snakes. So what do you think gophers like to eat? Gophers. So gophers are notorious for going down your rodent holes that dig up your lawn and getting the resident, and then they'll hang out there. Sometimes they'll stay there for a while. These are also, unfortunately, the most commonly mistaken for rattlesnake snakes. But now you guys know two important facts. What about the head on this snake?
Don't come back here.
Tiny, right? What about his tail? She's hiding it from me. Hold on one second. Nice and pointy.
No.
Okay? These guys get huge. Up to 7 feet. These two are probably 5.
And show them up close. Yeah.
And these are wild snakes. Notice how evil they are. How they're striking at everybody. They want to bite Mike, my neighbor. Oh, he's touching it. Brave man. These are gopher snakes. Yeah. If you see these guys in your yard, be kind to them. They do not need to be hurt, moved, or killed. These guys are ridding your yard of gophers and rats and mice and voles and chipmunks and squirrels. They eat all rodents. And they are very calm snakes.
There's most a single snakes, wild animal that
once they know you are not a threat to them, realize they can be calm around us. Yeah. They're very calm animals. Again, this snake was in my house for about 24 hours. Before that, it was wild. This was in someone's yard and they were petrified of it. The call actually came in as a 5-foot rattlesnake.
Yeah. Now, really quick, because these are gopher snakes that we're walking around with, these are also probably one of the most misunderstood snakes. People call us all the time and they say, I've got a gardener snake, or I have a garter snake. We don't get very many garter snake calls here in San Diego. They're going to be gopher snakes. Now, here's another one. Raise your hand if you've heard that gopher snakes mimic rattlesnakes. They flatten their head, they make it into a triangle, and they wiggle their tail. Has anyone ever heard that before? Okay, so a few of you. That is also a myth. There's no snake that mimics rattlesnakes because there's another snake that we have here. Actually, there are 2 other snakes that we have that do the tail waggling that are not rattlesnakes. King snakes will do it. Racers will do it. Lyre snakes will sometimes do it. It's just their way of communicating. They're waving what they've got, the closest thing to a hand of saying, hey, over here, don't step on me. That's all they're trying to do, right? When you're out camping, what are the 2 things that your parents and the rangers there tell you to do when you see a mountain lion or a bear? What 2 things are you supposed to do? Get big and
make a lot of noise.
Scream, yeah, make a lot of noise. What is this snake doing if not making itself big and making a lot of noise? Inhales a lot of air, swells up, rises, and then does that rattling. Now, what if you don't have a rattle? Closest thing you've got is going up to some plants and shaking up the ground, shaking up the leaf litter. That's what they're doing. Now, for gopher snakes also, they flatten their head. It's almost like a cobra hood. Makes their head look bigger, more imposing, more intimidating. It also masks where their neck is because every predator wants to bite on the back of the neck and the head. It's the best way to kill something. So if you can hide your neck, you're going to survive just that little bit longer. So they're really, really good at surviving. When we catch these guys, they often have scars on them, like battle scars, because they go through the ringer to make sure that we are rodent-free here. So thank them. Thank the gopher snakes. Yes?
Yeah. Explain when they stick the tongue out, what the purpose of that is.
Yeah, so the question, and this is true with most all snakes, the tongue coming out. What are they doing? Why? Sensing, smelling, tasting, trying to determine food, trying to determine water, trying to determine threats. Very good. That was impressive. Yeah, so all snakes will put those tongues out, bring it back in, and it gives them a feel of what's around them. Threats, water, food, all that good stuff. Thank you. And we love questions, so you don't even have to raise your hand. Just get our attention. Okay, so a couple things. We all love the outdoors in San Diego. That's why we live here. Let's talk about what do we do if we do see a rattlesnake. Okay? So you could be on this trail today, even with all these people, and right in the middle of the trail is a rattlesnake. Okay? True or false questions. Best thing to do, find a stick, whack it.
Pick up the phone and call RFK Jr. to pick it up and move it.
There you go. That's
false.
How about this? Get your best boots on and stomp it on the head. Why? That seems like a reasonable one. Oh, I got it. I got it.
Scream and run away.
Yes.
Screaming works so good with snakes.
Why? They cannot hear.
Yeah.
Are any of our snakes protected?
Very good question. Yes.
Several of them. Yeah.
So this beautiful snake in this picture right there is called Crotellus ruber, which is also known as the red diamond rattlesnake. It is only found in Southern California, northern Baja, and you will find them here. If you kill one of these snakes and decide that posting it on social media is a good idea, Fish and Game will find you, and they will fine you $10,000. Don't kill them.
Yeah. There's also the two-striped garter snake. That's also a protected snake here in San Diego.
Okay, so back to this guy. He's in the middle of our trail. What do we do? Here's what you do. Walk around, walk past, go past them. What is the strike range? How far can a rattlesnake effectively reach you? Half of what? Their body length. So let's just play this through. The biggest rattlesnakes that my team ever sees is pushing 5 feet. But you know what? Let's have some fun with this since there's some kids here. What is half? Let's say it's a 6-foot snake. What is half of 6, kids? Nobody. Thank you. 3 feet. So if this snake is in the middle of the trail and you walk by 3 feet away, it cannot reach you. People will call me and say they were 10 feet and almost got bitten. I'm like, how?
They don't jump.
They don't jump. They don't fly. Half their body length. So one person, asked, how do you know the size if they're not stretched out? I always use plates. The coffee cup sits on a saucer. That saucer is about that big around. If the snake's about a coffee saucer, it's under 2 feet. Okay. If it's a bread plate, like you're having a sandwich on, that is a 2+, close to 3-foot snake. If it's a dinner plate, coiled up, that's our max size. That's going to be a 3+ foot rattlesnake. So that's just kind of a thing to think about when you see snakes coiled up. But the best thing is just give them plenty of space. So let's say the snake is on the trail, but he's stretched out. Why do they do that?
Why would a snake be stretched out? What was that? Yeah, they're sunning themselves. We got a picture of Bruce over here going on a run.
Yeah, that was when the Ozempic kicked in.
Yeah.
Actually, that is not me. Only my dreams. I've never looked like that man. So often you will see snakes out on trails. Trails are usually in the open sun. Snakes are cold-blooded. They will come out on the trail. They will stretch out, trying to absorb as much sun as they can, and they will fall asleep. Literally fall asleep like I do when I'm laying in the sun. How do you know if a snake's asleep? Is his eyes closed? Why do you laugh? What? Their eyes don't close? Oh, wait a minute. No eyelids.
Snakes do not have eyelids.
What did you just say? How would you know? Yeah. So a lot of times my team will show up on a snake call and the rattlesnake is stretched out. We'll walk up to it and it doesn't move. It doesn't curl in a defensive position and its tongue is not flicking. We know now that that snake is sound asleep. Now, if I could yell at him, would that do any good? Hey, wake up. Why? No ears. Snakes can't hear. Yeah. I've seen people on hiking trails and they'll start yelling at something. I come up, I go, what are you yelling? They're like, there's a snake over there. I'm like, they can't hear you, right?
You know what that also means? We get calls also. People say, okay, I can't see the rattlesnake, but I can hear 2 of them talking to each other in the bushes. I can hear
what's
going on.
Hey, Alan.
Yeah. What's going on? Not much. How about you? Nice weather we're having. Yeah, I agree. They do not talk with rattling. The rattling is to talk to you saying, don't step on me. They talk to each other with chemicals and with body language and all that stuff. But for the rattles, it is just for you guys. It is just for the animals that can step on them. So remember that. No eyelids, no ears.
Yeah, so a snake in the middle of the trail. I always tell people.
Oh, it's the banker.
Snake call.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take it, though. I will send it to voicemail. So our snake calls start around right now and go until dark, and we'll get anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 a day, nonstop. And this year, it started in February because we went from rainy December, rainy January, and then a beautiful summer hit in February. And we had 87 snake calls in February. Usually we put our gear away and go to the beach. We didn't do that this year. So if you see a snake on the trail, and let's say the trail is wide enough that you can get by it, just go around the tail side. Okay, not the head side just in case, but go around the tail side. And then what I tell people is the next campers or hikers you see, give them a heads up. Hey, by the way, there's a snake on the trail about 20 yards up. Just be aware. Awareness buys you time. Time buys you options. It's the unseen snake that you stepped on because you had your earbuds in or you were talking to your friend and you step on it. That turns into a bite. Now, let's say it's a really narrow trail. Some of our local trails are, and there's no way around it. Don't go stepping in the heavy brush to get around it. Why? Could be another snake. Yeah. Plus, you can't see the ground. Don't walk there. If you really can't get past it.
It's your wife, maybe.
No, it's not my wife. Poway, San Marcos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you know my password? Don't say it out loud. But if you really can't get past it and the snake's not moving, go back the other direction and come back hike another day. Leave the snake be. Let's not pick up rocks. Let's not pick up sticks. Let's not try to move it. Let's not try to hurt it. This is their domain. Yeah. If you cannot get by that snake, just let it be. Yes?
Yeah, question. Yeah. A little, yeah. So when I was growing up as a Boy Scout, I was told all the time, yeah, stomp and shuffle your feet, and then that will have the snake move along. At best, it'll have the snake wake up, and then it will see you, and then it will determine what to do from there. But the simple truth about these animals is that when you look at their pictures, when you look at the skins that we have, they have really good camouflage. So when they wake up and then they see this giant like the skyscraper-sized monster looking at them, they're going to play freeze tag. They're not going to move because they don't want to give away their position.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually, if they think, okay, maybe they're not looking at me. Maybe I can slowly.
That's pretty good.
And then they just strafe away like that. Yeah. So usually that's how it works, but they won't run away from stomping
so one
feet.
thing I point out when people say you can stomp your feet, think about this.
Oh, no.
Feel it, right? Okay, so let's say we're visiting a city and we're all from the country and we're in a hotel in the city and there's lots of horns and cars and sirens. Keeps us up at night, right? Mm-hmm. But for the people that live there, they don't even notice it anymore. You have snakes that live on busy hiking trails. They see and hear us every single day. That stomping is just somebody walking by. They've probably heard it and seen it a million times. So to Alan's point, sometimes it works. Stomp your feet, but he may be like, 10 people just walked by me and stomped my feet. Why should I move for you?
We have 4 rattlesnakes here with us today right now. They're right behind this table, and you guys haven't heard a peep from them the whole time. You would be amazed. There could be a rattlesnake in this bush right here, and you would never know. That's something that we like to talk about.
There is a rattlesnake within 20 feet of us right now, besides the ones we brought.
A hiding snake is a happy snake. They're naturally incredibly shy animals. They're very aware of their surroundings. So odds are if you see a snake, it has either been caught unawares or it knows you're there and it has weighed its options and deems you not a threat. Okay, because it knows, like in the case that Bruce is talking about on a hiking trail, they're just hikers. They're not going to give me any guff, right?
We'll show them the king
but now,
first.
Here's another question, and it's great because we just brought out another snake. These are California king snakes. Okay, a lot of people probably recognize these ones. And I was asked by a person in the front row here, are rattlesnakes the only ones that will bite in self-defense, or like if you step on them? And the answer to that is definitely not.
Yeah.
Anything with a mouth
David,
can bite.
Walk around with him?
Okay. I've worked with 120 different animal species in my career as a biologist. I've got scars all over my hands from all the different birds that I've worked with. Name a bird, been bitten by it. But I have never been bitten by any snake. Not just rattlesnakes, snakes as a whole. But they can. Doesn't mean they will. Doesn't mean they want to. Now, if a king snake bites you, or they're walking around with
we got two king snakes out right now.
2 king snakes are walking around right now. If they bit you, though, what would happen? If a king snake bites you, it would hurt your feelings. That's it. They have little tiny teeth that are about the length of the legs of an ant. Teeny tiny. It's like getting snapped by a rubber band. It'll shock you. They bite just as fast as rattlesnakes do. 4 times faster than you can blink your eye. Raise your hand if you've seen the Blue Angels doing a show before, okay? When they do those really cool tricks, 7 Gs of force is what they're pulling. Astronauts getting shot into space, 3 Gs. When a king snake strikes, 29 Gs of force. They're fast, but it doesn't hurt you. It just hurts your feelings. Now, what if a snake spooks another snake? Do they bite the other snake? So like, do rattlesnakes fight rattlesnakes, right? Fight fire with fire. Or better yet, because we got king snakes, what if a king snake finds a rattlesnake? What happens?
Ooh.
Why are they called king snakes? So if a gopher snake is called a gopher snake because it eats gophers, why is a king snake called a king snake? Does it eat kings?
Elvis Presley's.
Oh, thank you very, very much. They eat everything that they can overpower, even rattlesnakes. They are the kings of the snakes in their ecosystems. So if a king snake finds a rattlesnake, it's probably on purpose. The king snake probably hunted down that rattlesnake, and then the rattlesnake will try to protect itself. It will bite. Nothing. Gives another one. Tries some venom that time. This guy's the Terminator. Not slowing down. The venom does nothing to the California king snake. It is completely 100% immune to the venom. It will bite the rattlesnake, wrap around it, squeeze, and it's good night for the rattlesnake. And they swallow it down whole, one big rattlesnake sausage down. And that's it.
So the 2 king snakes that are going around right now, if you get a chance to look at them, are the exact same species of snake. But wait a second. One has bands around its body. One has stripes going down its body. How can they be the same species of snake? King snakes can come in those 2 morphs. But if those 2 had babies, guess what we get? Blotches and dots and dashes. No 2 king snakes ever look the same. Gopher snakes almost look exactly the same. Southern Pacific rattlesnakes almost look the same. Red diamond rattle, rosy boa, all of them exactly the same. King snakes, no 2 ever look the same. So get used to what they look like. 2 things again. Tiny little head, does not have venom glands, and the tail. Actually, one of them's tail looks like it got chomped off or bitten off.
Yeah, what's your question?
So I have 2 questions. When a king snake bites you, how do you treat it? And obviously it's a king snake bites, but it's a constrictor also.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a constrictor. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great question. So how do you treat the bite?
But I will
and
tell
then,
you
do you have a question?
story.
Somebody else?
Our team did find a major scientific
So I had a question from somebody over here on how to treat a king snake bite, and I guess we could kind of dovetail that really quickly. We don't want to dwell too long on it. Just treating snake bites in general. So if I'm bitten by a king snake, they have, sure, their teeth are really tiny, but they are razor sharp. It would be like getting pricked by a sewing needle, okay? You just wash it off. Nothing more needs to be done. They're not disease-ridden animals. The diseases are not zoonotic. They don't spread to people. So just wipe it off, maybe put a Band-Aid on it, and then you're all set to go. But now what if you are one of those folks and you accidentally find yourself bitten by a rattlesnake? Oh, wait, okay, I got this. You should cut an X. You can pull out your handy pocket knife, you cut an X, and you
suck it out.
Suck the venom out. No. Okay,
here's my belt.
Yeah, you take your belt off. Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's looking for our snakes.
You take your shoelaces off, you take your belt off, and you tie a tourniquet. You wrap it around your limb that was bitten, right? No. Ooh, you take your cooler and you take the ice packs out, and you put the ice packs on the bite. No. You take out your Zyrtec. You take out your ibuprofen, your Tylenol, any type of painkiller, NSAID, antihistamine, and you take it. No. The only thing you do, if Bruce is a rattlesnake and he bites me, first thing I'm doing, I'm backing away, making space so he doesn't tag me a second time, staying calm, pulling out my phone, and I'm calling 911. And I'm finding the nearest hospital that has antivenom, and I'm telling them that I'm on my way. Or, if not possible, if they can send a chopper. Those are your options. That is it. Do not drive yourself. Do not get on your bike and start pedaling away. Don't run away. Stay calm, back away from the snake, and call 911. That's it. Yeah, question. Maybe like 15 minutes.
It's actually really fast. The symptoms of a rattlesnake bite will be local. You'll have some pain and tingling. And if it's a bite to your fingers, that appendage will go numb. But I know it travels quickly and will start affecting your face and your speech and also your legs. So Alan brought it up, and I'll bring it up again. Do not drive yourself. It's like being intoxicated. You get on the highway and all of a sudden you can't feel your arms and legs. It's not good. definitely call 911. Something else he said, and I want to bring it back because it's important. A lot of times when we hear about rattlesnake bites, we hear they were bitten twice or 3 times. It's just the same.
Again.
Multiple bites is worse than one bite. But why are you standing next to that snake and it's still biting you? The first thing I would want to do is get away. But you'd be shocked. Yeah. There was a story of a guy 2 years ago that came out of the surf, and he was standing with his surfboard at Windansea, and he was waiting for his friends, and he felt something hit his foot. He looked down, and there was a snake, and he had been bitten. But he was in such like disbelief that he stood there, and it bit him again, and again, and again. So he was bitten 4 times before he finally moved 2 feet away from the snake. So that's
a Darwin Award right there.
You do not need to bring the snake with you. You do not need to take a photo of the snake with you. All the snakes in the United States are pit vipers except for one, which is a coral snake. We don't need to talk about them. They're not here. But the anti-venom for rattlesnake, copperhead, and water moccasin is basically the same.
Yeah.
So you do not need to capture or kill and bring with you. Think about that. You've been bitten by a snake and now you got to catch that thing? No freaking way, folks.
Yeah, I know that rattlesnake bite fatalities are extremely rare, except this year. So what's going on?
So great question. So I'll give my peace of mind, and then I want to hear Alan's too.
Yeah.
If you don't know what he just said, I'm going to bring it up. In California, there have been 3 fatalities by the end of May this year. Okay? Just to put that in perspective, in the United States, annually 5 people don't survive snake bites. 5 across the entire United States in the year, and we've had 3. Why? I got called from Fox News, NBC, ABC, Newsweek, Time Magazine, all asking me that question, and my answer is this. I don't know. But I will say this. I was not the doctor that treated these people. If that doctor would speak to me, if I could go and ask him, I would probably learn more, but they won't. But my guess is, and we talked about earlier, is my guess is 2 things. One of them we know rode his bike out, which got the blood going, but that still shouldn't have put him into a coma and killed him. I think they were allergic to the venom, or the hospitals made a mistake, but I do not want to go on record saying that. Why do you think 3 people have passed?
Okay, so sometimes in statistics we have outliers. That's number 1. That's a big one. The other thing is, having helped Bruce and the rest of the team run this project of ours over the years, I tracked the data. 2 years ago, we had about 5 or 6 people call us, and they said, I've already caught the snake and I put it in a bucket for you guys. Take your time getting here.
Did he poo on you?
So that was 2 years ago.
Stinky.
5 people. Last year, it was nearly 60 people.
Just make sure it's the
This year, we're already nearly at half of that number. I don't know why people are suddenly feeling like they can catch these rattlesnakes on their own without training, without the gear, and put them into buckets. So for that part, I'm with Bruce. I don't know. But what I will say also is I've gone through every single obituary for every person that's ever died from a snake bite in the United States' history. And I put the leading causes on the board right there. Initiating contact is 90% of the bites. And these are just the confessed ones. So 90% of people confess they initiated contact with a snake that they saw and knew was there. After that, it's allergy to the venom, susceptibility to heart attack, shock, or stroke. And then after that, it's age. And then not going to the hospital. And then they're men. And then they're drunk. So if you got rid of all the voluntary exposures, that drops to 750 bites.
She was a little out of
For the folks that died this year, for the 29-year-old Eagle Scout, he was on a bike ride. He died a month after he was bitten. To me, that screams toxicity. That screams that he was allergic to the venom and was put into a medically induced coma. The 58-year-old woman from Moore Park,
he's right up there.
It said in her autopsy report that it was toxicology. She
Alan, I'm
was
going to pause you
allergic.
for a second. There's a coyote walking right there. See him by the tree? He's looking right at us right now.
Just to the left of the eucalyptus.
Left of the bald tree.
Yeah.
He's stopped walking now.
There you go. He's looking right at us.
He's looking right at us. He should. There he shook. See him? That was good. Hey, I'm glad you came.
A coyote's right there, and you had no idea.
And I saw him poop in the neighbor's
He knows
yard up
snakes.
there. And I was
So now
like,
we know. Do the coyotes poop in the yard?
They did. I was like,
Now, here's actually on this point, coyotes are also not dangerous animals.
See him?
Yeah.
See him? He's looking right at us.
Yeah. So on the board right
He's
here,
right to the right of the tree, the bald tree, walking from left.
if you combine all of the coyotes, all the wolves, all of the wild boar,
Yes.
every bear, every mountain lion, shark, spider, bat, snake, everything. They combined kill 19 people per year
Here, I can take that.
in the
Okay.
United States.
You want?
There have only ever been 2 people in
What's that?
recorded
He's
history
already
killed by
moved into the
coyotes. One of them happened about a year ago, and it was because somebody left their baby on the ground in their driveway outside in Arizona.
Salmonella.
Yes.
They
So,
just-
again,
they're king
something about
snakes
Darwin
produce
Awards.
things.
So there's that in line. But now I'm going to go to this slide over here, and I want you guys to look really closely at the animal on the far right. It's Bambi. Bambi kills 280 people a year. All those other animals I mentioned, 19. Deer kill 280.
But Alan, how does a deer kill all those humans?
Well, they got some giant things on their head called antlers. And when the male deer are doing their rut before mating season, they feel really territorial. They will gore you. They've also got hooves. They will kick you. They're also not Bambi. The reason why I keep saying Bambi is because people still go to Yellowstone thinking, look at the fluffy cow. I'm going to get a picture with the fluffy cow. And then they get turned into a chalk outline. So people see deer and they think they can get a picture with it. And then the mom protects her kids. That causes 280 deaths. That is excluding vehicle incidents, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked.
So-
by that. I thought it was.
That's a really good question about the bites. That's a really good question about all the fatalities that we've seen this year that are really bizarre. Oh yeah, question. Yeah, the Santa Catalina Island rattlesnake has evolved out of its rattle. That is correct. Yeah, and also our team last year got
5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6 rattlesnakes where they had a mutation where their scales grew over their rattle or they didn't grow a rattle at all. Yeah, so it's very rare, but it does occasionally happen. But also, they don't always rattle. Oh yeah. So the reason why they don't have it is because they don't live around Bambi. That's the whole. So on my thing here, and I'll move along so then Bruce can keep talking. But rattlesnakes evolved in the Sierra Madre Occidental region of Mexico, which is a migratory path for hoofstock, and this was their way of talking to each other. The ones that live on Santa Catalina Islands, they've lived there long enough
too big. I'm
where
trying to
they've
hide.
evolved out of it. They don't need it. There's no hoofstock to stomp on them and kill them. This is not a defense mechanism to say, hey, I'm going to bite you. It says, please don't stay there or I'm going to have to protect myself and bite you. Does that make sense? Yeah. Great question.
Okay, so let's lead into it since we're talking about rattles. Anybody hear the myth? This has 9 sections. It is 9 years old. Yeah? Raise your hand if you've heard that. You can count the rattles. Do you think you're right? No. You are wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't mean that mean. But everybody heard that. I heard that till I was about 7 years old myself. When a rattlesnake is born, this very pointed tip right there, it says birth button. That is all they have when they're babies. Okay? It makes no sound. If it shakes its tail, you will not hear it. Okay? The material that a rattle is made out of what?
Ooh, close.
Keratin. Same material as our hair and fingernails, right? Same exact material. Okay, so let's say this baby is born with his birth button and then he sheds his skin. He now has his first rattle section. Now does he make a sound? If you were silent and got your face about a foot from it, it would sound like a bee that's 20 yards away. Still silent. Third shed. Now he's got 2 rattles plus his birth button. Now you'll start to hear it. So as those rattles grow from shedding skin, they become louder. But here's the deal. If I was to grow my fingernails 4 inches long and tried to be a snake wrangler, I mean, I would look really beautiful, but what would happen to my nails? They would break off, right? So we often see huge rattlesnakes like that with that size rattle. Okay, that rattle, if it had a section every time it shed, should be 6-8 inches long. You'll never see that on a wild snake because as they grow, they become more and more delicate, so those rattles will break off. This was on a 5-foot rattlesnake that was hit by a car, and his rattle was very sad, very sad. But again, you cannot count rattle sections. So if you were to look at this snake, he still has his birth button. So he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, shed his skin 7 times. They can shed anywhere from 1 to 4 times a year, and it's all based on food and growth. If he's eating a lot and he's growing a lot, like me at Thanksgiving, I have to go get new clothes a lot. I have to shed the old ones off because they get a little tight, and I have to go get new ones.
Yeah.
So, myth, you cannot count rattles.
The rattle can only be as wide as the base of its tail. So for this rattle that I'm holding up, you can see how it's more rectangular. It's not like an ice cream cone or a pyramid shape, right? So that means that this snake was this size for a very long time. Being around rattlesnakes a lot, we know what their growth rate looks like, what their body types look like at certain stages. It takes them about 10 to 15 years to get to their full size.
I'm going to talk about
once they're that size, they only shed 1 to maybe 3 times a year. So for this snake to have 12 links that are the same size, that means this snake is anywhere between, let's see, 15 plus 12, it could be 27 years old, but it's broken. I don't know how many more of them there were. But it also could have shed 3 times a year, so it could only be 4 plus 15, so it could be a 19-year-old snake. But again, it's not an exact science. All we're getting at is you can't age a rattlesnake by its rattle. The only way to know is if you've been around them and you have that documentation. And with that in mind, how old can rattlesnakes be? Does anyone know?
Carry it around,
Yeah.
How old can a rattlesnake get? Do I hear 10 years old?
25, 1 point.
How about 15 years? 15, 20, 30, 40-year-old rattlesnakes? How about 55? Rattlesnakes can live to be 55 years old, and she's still alive today, the oldest recorded rattlesnake. Now, with that, I'm going to walk around actually with 2 rattlesnakes in a tank.
Hold 1 second.
Yeah. Sorry.
So
we got a Rosie.
some people may not have seen Charlie walking around with rosy boa. If you haven't, rosy boas are not common to see, but they are commonly found here. What that means is they're very secretive animals. They are nocturnal and they live underneath rocks and boards, so you're not going to see these snakes. But it is a boa that we get here in Southern California. There's also a rubber boa found in Northern California. One of the most docile snakes you'll ever see. If you are afraid of snakes but are willing to give it a try, this is the one you want to hold. Okay? Yes, sir. Well, he said, if one of these bites you, what you have to do is blow on its nose. That's fine. So this rosy boa, it's interesting though. I've never heard that. I've heard pour alcohol on them. I've heard stick your finger up. It's, you know what? Yeah. Okay, so the other snake that we have, come up here, David. This is one that is probably the most uncommon snake for us to get here. We see, you can put her back now, thank you. We see maybe 2 of these a year. Most of the time, they're very jumpy. They are mildly venomous, so they're rear-fanged. If he was to bite David right now, he would go into cardiac arrest, and I would have to do CPR, and I'm only kidding. They're venomous specific to their prey, which is lizards. They're rear-fanged, so they have to kind of chew on you. This is called a lyre snake. Not liar, liar, pants on fire, but L-Y-R-E, which is a harp. On their head, as David walks around, they have the symbol of a harp on their head. They have googly eyes because most of their life is at night. They are nocturnal. They also have elliptical pupils, so they're cat-like yellow eyes. One of my very, very favorite snakes to see, and sadly we don't see too many of them, and when we do, we like to show them off. The other thing I always like to say, if you look at the pattern, it looks like, you know who Mick Jagger is? Mick Jagger, Rolling Stones? The shirt that they used to sell with just the lips, that's his pattern on his back. If you guys get no satisfaction.
If you guys look at the screen behind me and Bruce here, the lovely pie chart here, all these snakes that are in orange, that is 3,400 of the 4,000 snake species in the world, they are constrictors. So it's not just the rosy boa that's a boa constrictor. The king snake is a constrictor. The gopher snake is a constrictor. If you've ever heard, this snake is in the constrictor family, you've been lied to. There's no family called the Constrictoridae family. That's an occupation, not a family. Now, the 2 colored pie slices out of there, the teal one, those are the venomous snakes that cannot hurt you. That's where the lyre snake falls into. So out of the 600 remaining snake species in the world that have venom, 2/3 of them can do nothing to you. Literally nothing. The ones that are in the black, 200 species. 5% of all snake species on the planet have varying degrees of negative health impacts to people. But not all venom is made equal. Okay? So on this slide, you can see North American rattlesnakes are 100th as potent as the inland taipan. 100th. but still they don't kill very many people. The saw-scaled viper, which has 10 times the amount of venom as our rattlesnakes, but a 10th as the taipan, kills almost 20,000 people a year. So it's not the toxicity that kills people, it's the lack of access to healthcare. That is literally the only thing. So as long as you guys stay calm and you get to a doctor when you're bitten, you've got a 99.999% chance of survival. Yeah.
Okay, you guys want to see some rattlesnakes?
Yeah.
I know that's the whole reason.
So both of these animal ambassadors that I'm bringing out for you guys, I've got 2 rattlesnakes in my tank here. Both of them are rescues. One of them, someone tried to kill him by cutting off his tail. Raise your hand if you've ever heard that people cut off rhinos' horns to make a medicine, or some people take tigers' claws because they think it has special powers, okay? There are people who think that rattlesnake rattles hold their venom. They think that their rattles give them their life source or have special powers. This rattlesnake survived a negative encounter and his tail is cut off. He's got a little Quasimodo stump behind him. He's rehabbed and he's fine now. The other one was rescued from a pool. Someone saw this rattlesnake in their pool at night and went, nope, not my problem. Came back out 14 hours later when it was 50-something degrees outside and the snake was barely able to stay afloat in that chlorine pool. We fished her out and she was basically a vegetable. I've been rehabbing her now for what, 2 months?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 months, and she's on the mend. The only thing she has left to do is hunt. She spent 45 minutes in this tank with a mouse, and they were rubbing faces with each other the whole time. Neurologically, she's not all there yet. So we're hoping that she can go back out to the wild. But anyway, both of these are rescue rattlesnakes, but they're still not pets. These are wild animals, born and raised in the wild. So really appreciate them. The other ones that Bruce has, these are other rescues that we've gotten, but do appreciate the different colors that are on them. The one that he's got, it's kind of like a winter green, like a sort of minty color with some orange flecks in it. There's another one that's there, and it kind of looks like it's got like a dark chocolate coloration to them. So they're all different. They're all unique, but notice they're not going to rattle at you.
Nope, this one has their tail.
That's the special thing. These were just wrangled a couple days ago. So whether it was a few days ago, earlier today, or a few months ago, they're still not going to buzz at you.
Good.
They're still not going after you. And feel free while we're walking around to ask any more questions, raise your hand, holler them out. We love them.
So one thing I want to point out is none of the 3 that we're walking around with are rattling. Okay. A lot of people will say, well, at least they'll warn you. Rattlesnakes rattle when they choose to. Some never choose to. We are around rattlesnakes every day of our lives, and I'd say 50-50 ever choose to rattle. They could be standing right next to us in these bushes. You would never know they're there because they're camouflaged.
This guy is the one who
this
has
is on a
tail
white
cut off. You can see
background.
his
But
Quasimodo
if I was to
stump
put this
right
in these
there.
leaves,
and then this one that's
you
all
would never
stretched
see
out,
it.
she was the one that was in the pool.
not rattling, not rearing up, not striking the glass, and you have a stick. I
Naya,
appreciate
yeah.
that, honey.
That's Naya, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's slithering all over the
Don't
place.
know.
But
So you
again,
just
I put
asked
a
how
mouse
old.
in there
There's
with
no
her.
way on a
The
wild
mouse was like
snake
running down
to
her
know their age.
body, and they were
Yeah,
like
we could
nuzzling
guess
cheek
that
to
it's
cheek. So
a
I've got the
couple
mouse now.
years.
His name
It's
is
not a big,
Perseus.
old adult, but it's definitely adult. It is not a baby.
Yeah.
This is one of our locals. This is Southern Pacific.
What was
This
that?
is what you'll see on the trails around here.
The mouse is happy, yeah.
Hellerai. Very
Yes,
good.
and
Crotalus.
Perseus did
Hellerai
a couple
is the Latin
times bite
name.
the snake, yeah.
Mask. They do. And they can be much, much darker than this. They can be almost completely
There we go,
black. They can be
guys.
really bright colored. In fact, the 3 that we have are all slightly different. Couple darker,
Yeah.
couple lighter. One. Not my blue one. Yeah. So we get really cool calls doing this job that we do. A lot of times we get non-native snakes, meaning pets that have gotten out. And we see those pretty frequently. But last year I got a call for a rattlesnake, this species, but it was blue, green, and orange. And the science world thought it was a hybrid or potentially a Mojave rattlesnake, which we shouldn't have here. Turns out it was just a really, really beautiful Southern Pacific
What was that?
rattlesnake. But I have one thing to share, and I've never
whenever
said
they
this
show
out
they're
loud to
hungry.
anybody.
When they're looking. when they
No,
slither
I
around,
let
they're a
it
bit
go.
more
But
active.
if I was
and
to ever
everything.
keep a snake,
Yeah.
she was so like I had her out on my
that's a
kitchen
great
counter
question.
with me hanging
So now
out.
that you guys are really close to a
I'll
rattlesnake,
show you a picture if I get around.
you guys can see
So this year,
its brow.
our team
right? It kinda looks like
responded
bald
to a
eagle. It's
call,
looking at you a bit like this.
and we literally got a snake.
That's to
1
keep
in
the sun
10
out of its
million.
eyes. It's like the brim of my hat.
Not
also
better than
has
albino.
the
We've
dark
actually got
stripes right
albino
here,
snakes
like a
before.
baseball player.
We haven't had
Also
that
keeps
yet.
the sun out of its
This
eyes.
snake that we got, 1 in 10 million, according to the science world, was
right?
scaleless.
You see those little dark holes
We
there?
got a completely
So those little dark
scaleless
holes allow
one of
snakes to
these,
see in
meaning no
total
scales,
darkness.
smooth.
They can
And the
see
science
mice
world
just
is on
based
its
off
head
their
right
body
now, trying to
temperature.
get a hold of this thing, and we're all protecting it with our lives.
When I saw venomous snake.
A scaleless rattlesnake has a very, very low chance of survival, almost none in the wild. But somehow this snake had gotten to adult size
slide behind
in
you,
the
sir.
wild with no scales. Well, you can name it. What do you think it looks like?
There you go, Freckles.
Any name you want, sweetie.
Whoa. I like your dinosaur
That's
shirt.
the shock. What do you want to call it?
Yeah, isn't that cool?
This is the photo that I
Is that the one with the crazy
So
eyes?
Bruce,
Yeah.
You have to think of a name.
how do you identify it?
Pattern.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Will
and then also if you look at the
Sorry, buddy.
scales. So you see how they're kind of overlapped?
Messy.
You know, shingled like
This
a roof.
is now Messy.
But then they also
Please
have the
meet
split
Messy.
up the middle. That's
Messy
called
the
field.
rattlesnake.
But also, again, the geometric style and the infrequency of
No, he
them,
has his
that is
rattle.
not a gopher snake.
Alan
Gopher
in
snakes
the
are a lot
bigger
more common, you know,
aquarium
that
has
stuttering.
the other one.
Yeah.
So now we have 4
Southern
rattlesnakes
Pacific
out. These are
rattlesnakes,
all
same
the same species, but they look somewhat
Different
different.
color, different pattern,
None
yeah.
are rattling. Notice the
Yeah.
black band across their eyes. The other thing I want you to look at when you get a close look is they have both nostrils and then a second set of holes. What are those second set of holes?
Someone tried to cut it off.
Pits.
Someone was really mean
Rattlesnakes
to this
are
snake.
pit vipers.
They
So
tried
they
to kill
have
him and they cut his
nostrils
tail
for
off.
breathing, and then they have
So he
other
survives,
holes that
but
are
he's
heat
injured,
seeking.
so he doesn't have his rattle
What
anymore,
means
and he can't
they
grow
can
it
hunt
back.
in the complete blackness.
Yep, there's 2 of them.
And they
Yeah,
will
so
see an
this
incoming
one is
prey
draped
item,
over
such
the
as a
top,
mouse
yeah.
or a rat.
So that would be
and I
like
always
if
think
somebody,
it's the
so
silhouette,
it would be like
a
if I
red
was working
silhouette,
in a
like
shop
a movie
and I cut my
Predator
finger
with
off,
Arnold.
I can't grow a
Get to the
fingernail
chopper,
back
Billy.
anymore, right?
I think that's how they
Losing
see
that
it at
part,
night with the
no more
rodents.
fingernail, so the same thing.
So they've got the 2
Right here.
holes and the other 2 holes, pits and nostrils. They also have the eyebrows that go out over the eyes versus nice, clean, round eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody? Pizza. I've got a pepperoni.
Great
roll.
question. If they've got hips, so like so
Anybody not
for
see the
Naya
rattlesnakes?
Here, if you look,
Okay, again, now if
you
I
see
was to
how
take
the
this
part by
snake
her
out and put it
rattle,
on the ground,
it's
which
kind
I
of
will not do
narrow,
with all
and then
these
all of a
kids
sudden it
here,
goes
he may rattle.
suddenly really wide. Those are
But
her hips.
probably just go about his
That's where her
business. He
tail
would
begins.
Probably
That
try to
part
get
right
to
there,
the bushes
that's just her
or
tail.
underneath
Yeah.
this because that is how they want to
So
get away
Leppy,
from us. They want to hide from us.
the one beneath.
They're
is
never
on the
going to
tail, you
chase
can
us.
tell
They're never
because
going to
it's
attack
just
us.
all
What's
smooth.
their
There's
strike
no
range?
delineation right there.
Okay, so let's call
But
this
yeah,
snake
they're about 3
pushing
years
3
old.
feet, which is very, very common.
But
That's
yeah,
probably
that's how
our
many rattles
most
she's got.
common length.
And
I
hers is
could
broken,
technically
too.
get a 1.5
So
from
she
that
could have more.
snake and not be in range. Please don't ever test my theory. I'm
Anytime.
not good with math. Okay, so we have lots of snakes out. We've been talking for an hour and 10 minutes. Questions?
Oh, look at that one.
Yes.
There you go.
Great question. So his question was, where do we release them? So a little bit about what we do. We have 48 people now on our team. We cover
This one that's
Pendleton all
looking
the
at
way
you,
down
her
to
name is
Tijuana.
Naya,
We are a
and then the
free
one that
service.
she's
We
on
accept
top of, his name
donations.
is Leppy.
We don't charge you because when I started this 10 years ago, I
Yeah.
didn't want
Yeah.
someone
His
to say
full
we can't
name
afford you,
is
so we're going to kill the
Asclepius
snake. So I took
tescalopoca.
that off the table. If you can't donate, I get that
It's a
too.
good mouthful of a name.
We get them, and then we only can move them about
Named
a
after two
mile
gods.
square around that
Asclepius
home.
from
So we
Greco-Roman
use Google Earth
tradition,
if we don't know
when
the
you look at
area,
a
and we
hospital,
triangulate about
and
a
you have
mile
the
out,
staff
and we
snake
determine
on
a
it
good
and everything,
safe
the
place that's
caduceus.
a hiking trail
That's
or a
his
path
tool.
or canyon,
Where?
and we hike them in. All of us hike almost every day to let these snakes go. So I put a backpack
that
on
cool?
with buckets in them, and I hike out. And we do that every single night that we get snakes. Hence that I can eat a lot.
Not poisonous at all,
I just saw the tongue go out.
but they are venomous.
Yeah, so why? So they've done tests. They've microchipped snakes, and they've placed them further than that mile radius. And what they've learned is the further you go, their chances of
Yeah, I'm gonna go
survival
over to these
drop.
next folks.
They
Thank
say
you guys
further
so
than a
much.
mile, it goes down to 50-50 because they can't find food, water, shelter.
All the way.
There's children everywhere around me. And that's more scary than snake. So we try to stay within that mile. Now, we would never want to take a snake that we found at the ocean. Let's say we got a snake in the bushes here and take it to Palomar
There's
Mountain.
two of them in here. Yeah, so both
Completely
of
the
them are in
wrong, environment for them.
here. So Leppy.
So we
is
also
down
think
here,
about
and then
what
Naya's up
snakes
here.
like the red diamond, like these guys, we're very particular where we let them go. They like hilly, rocky outcrops. So we try to find one and we actually watch the snake go down into the holes of the rock before we leave to make sure they're not going to get preyed on by a bird of prey or a hawk or anything like that. Yes, ma'am.
Territory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do they have territories?
That's a great question. Rattlesnakes are actually what we call semi-social species of snake. So they have friends. They're less likely to rattle when they're around their friends. And also they co-parent. So the moms and the dads, when they go through their courtship process, it can take weeks of courtship. Finally, they will copulate. And what I like to say is they don't fornicate, they five-nicate because it takes so long. They will link up, and then both the mom and the dad will stay together for the 3-month gestation, and they will take care of their live young. Live. They do not lay eggs. They are ovoviviparous animals. So they have live birth. The snakes have belly buttons and everything. And they're called snakelets also. Just like a baby pig is a piglet, a baby snake is a snakelet. And then they hang out with their parents anywhere between 1 to 7 weeks before they get their first shed, and then they go off on their own. Now, what's interesting is if the mom and the dad get hungry during those 1 to 7 weeks and they go out to look for food, they get a babysitter. They call one of their other rattlesnake friends over, and they will babysit each other's young. For other species of rattlesnake, like the sidewinders that we get here in San Diego County out in the ends of Borrego, the siblings will stick together for sometimes up to a year. And they will get to the entrance of their burrow and they will coil up into a ball to block the hot sun from coming into their burrow and changing the temperature of where they're hiding. So they are semi-social. Now, if you see a rattlesnake by its, just in your yard, it's probably alone. If you see a baby rattlesnake, it doesn't mean that you're on top of a den or a hibernaculum or whatever people say. But there is a possibility that there is another one. If the conditions are good for one snake, it's probably also good for another one. So just know that if you get rid of it, now you've left a vacancy, and now another snake might rise to the occasion to come in and help out with that. But yeah, semi-social snakes. That's a great, great question.
So real quick, and then we'll wrap. What can we do to eliminate the chances of snakes coming onto our property?
Yeah. Oh,
okay, so she brought up snake fencing. It's a great way to help keep snakes out. It's a specialized material that is applied to the existing fence. It's 1/4-inch gauge. It's trenched into the ground and then 30 inches high. Nothing is 100%, but that is probably the best way. Works really well. I agree.
There you go, guys.
Yep. Yeah, and it's nothing's 100% because gates have gaps. The other thing I always say, if you have snake fencing, you have to always maintain it. Because if you have gophers that tunnel from the outside in, that's just like New York to Jersey. Tunnels and bridges, baby. Rattlesnakes can come right in. What else can we do, though, besides putting up fencing? Yeah. So if you have rodents, you have snakes. If you have rodents, you have snakes. Get rid of the rodents. There's really no need for them to be there. What attracts rodents? Bird feeders. I've had 2 calls this week for tortoises with rattlesnakes in the enclosure of these tortoises. They're not after the tortoises, but the lettuce and the fruit that the tortoises eat attract the rodents, and the rodents are eaten by the snakes. So bird feeders, chicken coops, water features. What about water features?
Oh, yeah.
Pools, ponds, streams, little creeks in your backyard, bird feeders,
fruit trees,
all of that.
Gardens, yeah.
They have to drink water just like we do every day. They can go long periods without food, but they have to have water. Even a sprinkler going off, they can drink it right off the leaves of the grass or the stems of the grass.
For any yard that's worth having, you're going to have wildlife. Sorry. You're in the American Southwest. You're under no delusion that rattlesnakes exist out here, okay? Like, they do. You know that they do. It's like a red-tailed hawk flying over. It's there to get the mice. If you want to find an animal, find its food. So if you've got a garden, you've got a fountain, you've got fruit trees, you've got chickens, that's a great yard. I want to live in your yard. But we also have to remember that like Bruce was talking about a little while ago, February was crazy hot, okay? That is weird. Nature is being thrown all out of whack right now because of climate change, and every animal is in survival mode. So if you've got a yard that's got food and water, it's going to be a hot spot for animals to try to survive. Every animal is struggling right now, pretty much. So if you find a snake seeking refuge in your yard, it's because it's the best option that it has been able to find, probably. So have a little bit of compassion and pick up the phone and call us, and then we will relocate it to an area that we know is going to help it out in the future. Yeah.
I'm from down in town in my area. I love it up here, but I hike a lot in Mission Trails.
Yeah.
Tons of snakes.
Okay, so there was a signage. When I read it, I thought this sounds like a myth, but it's up there officially. They find rattlesnake molt in the squirrel's nests.
Okay. That I'm so glad you asked that.
Look at him. He's so frothy
Oh my
right
gosh.
now. Look at him. It's like a kid in a candy shop.
It is. Okay. So squirrels have a special call for rattlesnakes. If you learn squirrel communication, you can actually learn what the sound is. And better yet, they do a special tail movement for all snakes. You wouldn't know the difference for a rattlesnake unless you had an infrared camera. Because like Bruce mentioned, these guys are pit vipers. They don't live in pits, they have pits. So for you guys that are looking at the rattlesnakes up close, you can see they have an extra set of holes in the front of their face, right? So if you look here,
not even Ramona, further than that, like Borona.
Nostrils, pit organs. They can detect infrared radiation. They can sense temperature. And the squirrels have evolved to know that.
Once you hit the 15,
so when they wiggle their tail, when they see a rattlesnake, they flush blood into their tail. So now it waves like a lightsaber in the eyes of the rattlesnake, or rather in the pits of the rattlesnake.
We do have Western Diamondbacks.
So they know that. So then rattlesnakes, or sorry, squirrels will take the sheds of the snakes and they will stow it away in there.
Sometimes people
basically to make the snakes think, okay, there's already been a snake here. I don't need to do anything over here. That is a very true thing. Snakes and rattlesnakes have been going back and forth for millions of years to figure out this evolutionary battle. I'm so glad you asked about that.
Sidewinders are pretty thin.
And in certain areas of California, like in Central California, the squirrels have no predators that are meaningful to them anymore because humans have extincted them all, that the squirrels are now becoming carnivorous. Yeah. Squirrels are killing and eating other squirrels, other rodents, because we have killed all of the coyotes, we have killed all the foxes, all the bobcats, and all the snakes. Just like what's happening over in Texas. You guys ever heard of a rattlesnake roundup? They go out into the wild, they pour gasoline down the holes. That guy is not standing in dirt. Those are rattlesnakes. They've killed millions of them at these over the past couple decades, and they have locally extincted snakes in parts of Texas. While they're alive, they will sew their mouths shut so that people can take photos with them. They will chop their heads off and they will scoop the heads into a bucket, they'll squeeze the blood in there, and then they will give it to little kids to finger paint with. They say that this is for education, like what we're doing. They say this is a part of our culture. They say we eat the rattlesnake meat though, so they're not going to waste. And then they say there's an overpopulation of rattlesnakes. Literally none of that is true. People take the fear that Bruce and I have worked so hard and the rest of our team worked so hard to dismantle, they use that to justify these atrocities. Because they say that snakes are evil, that they will chase you, that they'll do all these things. When you guys can see, you're sitting right next to them right now and they just want to look at you a little bit more. I can tell you right now, snakes are my favorite animals for a reason. Like I said, worked with a lot of different animals. Snakes are different. They really are. And I hope, Bruce and I hope, you don't have to love them after this presentation, but you got to at least confess, you got a newfound respect and appreciation for them, right? Yeah.
Okay, so if anybody doesn't know how to reach us, I'm going to give you my phone number, the phone that's been ringing off the hook. If anybody wants to program this number into their phone, I am married, so don't use it for any other reason than snakes. That was a joke. I'll be here all week. So my cell phone number is the main number. All the calls for the Snake Wranglers come in. I quarterback all the calls out. I put them out to the team every day. 619-204-5117. We also have social media. You don't have to remember this, but if you're ever interested in seeing all of us go on snake calls, we record almost all the calls we go on. Some of them are unbelievable. Just Google Wrangler Bruce. All the videos. We record the calls because we do it for our own liability to make sure that nothing happens on those calls, but also because a lot of people want to watch snake videos, whether they love them or whether they hate them, they are still fascinated by them. And they are one of the most fascinating animals on the planet in, I would think, all of our opinions. Yeah. So hopefully you guys go away with a little bit of respect today. Yeah. The best thing to do if you see them leave them alone. Yes?
Yeah.
There is zero need to go near a snake to hurt, move, or kill it. If you do and you are bitten, what is it called? Karma.
Yeah.
If you end up in the hospital and you have a bite to your hands or feet, typically that means what? You chose to engage the snake.
You chose
Please don't
karma.
do that. Don't become a statistic.
Yeah.
If you ever have a snake and you don't know what it is, text us.
Yeah.
We're very good at identifying snakes that you have photos of. If you need a snake moved, we're happy to do it for you. We do not charge. We do take donations only. That's how we operate.
Yeah.
We loved being here today. We appreciate all of you. We appreciate all the amazing questions, especially from the kids. We love educating kids because their brains are still open and spongy and absorbing. But it seems like most of the adults here also had full respect for these animals, and we truly appreciate that. So thank you from the Snake Wranglers.